Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambeau channel. Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse will testify before the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. That's the headline from MSN. By the way, so a couple things right off the bat. This is happening tomorrow, Wednesday, July 9th, 2025. And one of the things that I find particularly interesting about this is that Brad Garlinghouse, in his official announcement of this, if you will, on social media, he was actually praising Senator Loomis. You may recall that Senator Loomis just a couple months ago snubbed Brad Garlinghouse. I'll get you all caught up to speed, and it'll be a refresher for some of you, and getting you caught up to speed with information you need to know before proceeding for the rest of you. But it leaves me wondering, did something else happen behind the scenes? And then there's also this. From the Crypto Basic, SEC nears streamlined approval for XRP, Solana, and meme coin ETFs, insiders confirm. Folks, that XRP ETF, it's coming, and it's just a matter of time. And the amount of money that will ultimately flow into XRP as a result of this is going to be monstrous. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. All right, so here's a post from May 19th of this year, 2025, from Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. And this went pretty viral within the world of crypto. You can see it was viewed 2.1 million times. Absolutely massive, and I covered it in great detail at the time here. This is quite the snub, completely unacceptable in my estimation. I mean, you're talking about Ripple, one of the most important good faith actors in the crypto space, in the United States, headquartered in the United States, and they're getting snubbed by a sitting United States senator because of reasons, and there's just no explanation. Completely unacceptable. So here's what Brad Garlinghouse shared on May 19th. Heading to DC to champion sensible pro-crypto legislation around stablecoins and market structure, and I'm very encouraged to see our elected officials look at crypto as it should be, a multi-chain industry. That said, Senator Loomis, as chair of the Digital Assets Subcommittee, canceled a meeting with me and won't reschedule. As a leader in Congress and senator from one of the most crypto-friendly states, Wyoming, I hope you will reconsider and be a leader for all of crypto. So I got to pause right here. Senator Loomis and I have been sounding the alarm bells for years now to anyone who will listen. Senator Loomis is a toxic Bitcoin maximalist. She does not care about any other coins. She doesn't care about the rest of the technological advancements in the space. It doesn't matter. She has drank the Kool-Aid. She is a toxic Bitcoin maximalist, and she's a sitting senator. So this didn't surprise me at all. And we'll get to a potential good reason as to why she canceled in just a second here. But then Brad said, I invite you to join me on an X Space anytime, or a live convo on stage at one of the many events we cross paths at, to talk about how to make the U.S. the crypto capital of the world, as is the goal of the Trump administration. I will continue to do everything possible to support that goal. And so Brad has the right approach. He is not a maximalist. He does want it to be a multi-chain world because he understands that as the crypto pie gets bigger, XRP, if it continues to be successful, will just have a part of that. And that's fantastic. He just wants each coin that is worth a damn thing, and in terms of utility, to just have a spot. It's not about dominating with the entire asset class. This is not a one coin to rule them all type of thing. Now, then there was this, though. XRP community member, Cowboy Crypto here, he tagged Brad Garlinghouse, and Brad Garlinghouse responded to what I'm about to show you, and I will read to you Brad's response. But take a look at this. Cowboy Crypto said, hey, Brad Garlinghouse, look into Will Cole, who is Senator Loomis's son-in-law. He's seen below reposting Pierre's dig on you. What's he referencing there? Well, he's referencing what I just shared with you. Brad saying, hey, Senator Loomis canceled the meeting and won't reschedule. Pierre Rochard, who is a toxic Bitcoin maximalist, reposted that and said, "You love to see it. Ripple XRP has consistently been a bad actor in the space, promoting CBDCs and attacking Bitcoin. They have lost all credibility." So set aside the nonsense of that post, which I don't even want to get into because it's so stupid. I don't even want to waste time on it in this video. That's what he said. This guy named Will Cole right here, see that? Reposted it. And that's who he's referencing. Will Cole is Senator Loomis's son-in-law. So if he's agreeing with this, obviously, he hates Ripple, he hates XRP, and he sure as hell doesn't want Senator Loomis to be meeting with Brad Garlinghouse. And so Cowboy Crypto says he is head of product for a Bitcoin payments company and hates seeing Ripple do well. Now we know why Loomis won't meet with you. Her financial contributors are A16Z and her family is deep in Bitcoin. Conflicts? ? And here you can see another post that Will Cole shared, reposted here, from Pierre Rochard, who wrote, "You ruined your reputation and lost all credibility by pushing for CBDCs, and against Bitcoin, nobody takes you seriously anymore." So this Will Cole guy really doesn't like XRP, suffers from XRP derangement syndrome. Brad Garlinghouse responded. He said, "Thanks for this info. Certainly enlightening that Will Cole is related to Senator Loomis. I understand that things happen in a senator's day that force their schedules to change, but for a congressional staff to say unable to reschedule is really troubling when we've been unable to meet with her one-on-one in 6 years." Now, folks, if she can't find time in 6 years, it's not a oops-a-doodles having hard time fitting you in right now. That's a screw you, we don't want to meet with you. That's what that is. So then Brad says, "We're an American company looking to grow the crypto economy in the U.S. to the benefit of all Americans. I really have to wonder if this was Senator Loomis or someone on her staff making this decision." Good question. Very good question. But Senator Loomis, again, toxic Bitcoin maximal, so I wasn't terribly surprised to see this when it happened. Now, as far as him testifying in front of the U.S. Senate, we knew that this was coming for days. For instance, here's a thread on X from the Crypto Basic, July 4th. U.S. Senate to feature Ripple CEO in hearing on crypto market structure. Okay, so the word was out. It's just that to that point, Brad Garlinghouse hadn't said anything yet. And they shared this picture of him, which is hilarious to me, with his eyes closed. And I saw this. I actually posted this right before recording. He said, "My name is Earl." That's instantly what I thought of. My name is Earl. If you've seen the show, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I pulled this up just in case. I can't remember this guy's name, this actor. He's pretty damn famous, so he's been all sorts of stuff. But anyway, My Name is Earl, by the way. Fantastic show. I need to rewatch the thing. It is hysterical. It is so well done. It's just consistently funny throughout. But anyway, so the shtick is that every time somebody's taking a picture of him, he can't help but blink in the picture, so that's the thing. But so here they did with Brad Garlinghouse. My name is Earl. Why did they select that picture of Brad Garlinghouse? That does not make sense. That does not make sense. That's why I'm clapping. I'm so excited about it. It doesn't make any damn sense here. So anyway, Ripple's Brad Garlinghouse, regardless, will testify before the U.S. Senate Banking Committee. And here's the actual post where Brad Garlinghouse shared this news. He says, "I am honored to be invited to testify in front of the Senate Banking Committee this Wednesday on the need for passing crypto market structure legislation. Thank you to at Banking GOP, so that's U.S. Senate Banking Committee, GOP, Chairman Senator Tim Scott, Senator Loomis, and Senator Ruben Gallego as leaders of the subcommittee Committee for Digital Assets. Your leadership, both with this hearing and over the years in championing the crypto industry, has been critical to getting us this important moment. Constructive crypto market structure legislation in the U.S. is imperative in bringing about a new era of innovation and financial opportunity while protecting consumers." So, first of all, why the hell is he thanking Senator Loomis? Did she ever meet with Brad? So far as I'm aware, at least, and if it's out there and I'm just unaware because I'm not a know-it-all, tell me if he actually met with her. I've seen no evidence of that. Are we just pretending that that didn't happen anymore and she doesn't have to meet with him because this is happening? Like, what's actually going? Did she meet with him? Did something change? What is going on here? It would be nice to know that. That's a little strange. I don't think that Senator Loomis has changed her viewpoints. That sounds well, once you go to toxic Bitcoin maxi land in your head, you are poisoned. You're poisoned forever. I haven't seen anyone come back from that. Not one person. Once your brain is that poisoned, like you're done. Like that's that. Like you're just stuck there forever. That's what it seems like to me. If there's a way out of that, and I'd like to believe that there is, like show me evidence that it's ever happened with somebody. I would love to see that. There probably is some store. I just don't think it's remotely common at all, right? But setting that aside, it still is great to see that Ripple is continue to be viewed, and rightfully so, as the adult in the room when it comes to crypto. But that's always been their MO, dating back over a decade, frankly. Ripple's always been the adult in the room. They just want a clear path forward. And so for Brad Garlinghouse to be here in this particular position, it's not surprising. It's very welcome, actually. And things actually finally are getting done because the war on crypto has been declared over by President Trump. It's over. It's donezo, folks. And it's a beautiful thing to see because I'm telling you, the amount of money that will just flow into the space as a result of this is going to be crazy in the coming years here. So it is nice to see that. I'm still left with that question about Senator Loomis. What is that about? Isn't that because if she did meet with him and then he's thanking her here, is it awkward the next time they see each other, which is inevitable anyway? Like, and it's happening tomorrow, so I don't know, folks. This does not make sense. I don't know what's going on here. Either way, things are progressing, and on top of this, which is great, and I'm glad that this is being taken seriously by Congress now, since you have the first ever pro-crypto administration in charge now. Great to see that. Also, it'll be great to see the first ever spot XRP ETF in the United States. So here the headline again from the Crypto Basic. SEC nears streamlined approval for XRP, Solana, and meme coin ETFs, insiders confirm. The U.S. SEC recently issued its most comprehensive guidance to date on crypto exchange-traded products, ETPs. And I'll just note ETFs are a type of ETP. Industry commentators are hailing the document as the first formal step toward the approval of a wave of crypto ETFs. These include those tied to major altcoins such as Solana and XRP, as well as a meme coin associated with President Donald Trump. Under the new Republican leadership, the SEC has demonstrated a greater willingness to engage constructively with the crypto sector. The agency has not only launched a task force to develop a regulatory framework for crypto funds, but has also dropped several enforcement actions it had previously been aggressively pursuing. Matt Hogan, CIO of Bitwise Asset Management, views the new SEC guidance as a key milestone. The most fascinating thing about this guidance is that it exists, he said. That sure as hell is true. That's a good change of pace after what we've seen over the last half a decade, just about. Anyway, notably, Bitwise currently has over 6 crypto ETF applications awaiting approval, and Hogan stressed that the release of the guidance alone shows the SEC now sees crypto exchange-traded products as part of mainstream finance. So, folks, this is going to happen. It's just they're doing things in a particular order. They want this guidance out here. XRP, of course, is going to get approved. It's a no-brainer, folks. And the amount of money that's going to flow in is going to be completely berserk. Piece continues. Essentially, the agency appears ready to create a more straightforward regulatory path for these products. Notably, the guidance instructs issuers to present disclosures in plain English and to explicitly address key risks, such as custody, volatility, and competition in the crypto markets. Yeah, perfectly reasonable stuff, nothing crazy there. That's perfectly fine. All right, and then there's this section here. SEC prepares universal ETF listing rule to replace 19B-4 process. Now, I reported on this a few days ago, and it's now being confirmed further, in this case by Reuters, which is perceived to be trustworthy. You can agree or disagree. I'm just showing you how it's being reported here. But Nate Garachi, who's the president of the ETF store, reported on this, and he said, Reuters confirms SEC is working on creating a full framework to streamline approval of spot crypto ETFs. Quote, the SEC is looking for a general rule that can apply to all listings, and currently is going back and forth on precise wording with the exchanges, end quote. So there we go. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens tomorrow. I'm sure that this is going to be out in the public, so I'll be happy to cover everything that goes down, whatever is newsworthy. I'm glad that Brad Garlinghouse is at the forefront of all of this. He's a perfect face for all of this. Good faith actor leading a good faith company, into this new digital realm that we're in. Now that the United States government is actually pro-crypto for the first time in history, what a time to be alive. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because if anything I say are right, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.